Oh, hello. I did not see you there. What is your business here? Oh, you would like Master Sao Shirai to teach you the ways of Lei Wulong? No problem. But you must be warned. It will not be easy. It will require dedication and many hours of practice. But I can start you up here with the basics of the 5-form Kung Fu. Do you think that is something you would enjoy? Very well. We'll begin our journey. Let us begin, for there is much you have to learn.
Alright, so let's get into this thing. I'm gonna start off much like the first tutorial, with the snake position and the ways to get into that. Got my little input thing at the bottom of the screen for y'all. That might help, you know. Anyway, here we go. Forward 2 plus 3. Gets you right in the snake stance with a side step to your right. Do that with me a couple times if you will. Whoops. Yeah, simple enough. And of course this wants to fuck up on me. There we go. Back 2 plus 3. Side step to the left. Snake position. It's funny how the input thing at the bottom is showing that I'm pushing it more than once, but I'm actually only pushing it once. So that's your two basic main ways to get in the snake. And here's another easy way. Down and 4. Right kick while holding the down button. Don't release the down button. Much like I said before, the key to doing a lot of these stances is to hold the directional button while you're doing the move. Down 4. Snake. Real quick, easy way, and plus you get a little low kick to make it a little safer. Now, another way to get in the snake. This one might be a little more tricky for you. Down forward 2 gives you this punch. Uppercut that'll knock him into the air. But after you input that, if you hold forward, you transition into snake. Do that with me a couple times, my student. So there you go. Ready to hit him with some snake action. Now, from snake, there are a couple things you can do. Those were the basic, easiest ways to get into snake. I'm catering this tutorial for the beginners again. But now, let's say you're in snake position and you want to do something from it. What can you do? Well, you got a couple things you can do to get into a different stance here. This is the easiest one. Which is button 2 3 times while holding forward. One, 2, 3. On the third hit, he'll go into Panther, which is a very important stance for Lei. From snake, 1, 2, 3. You're holding forward. Transition into Panther. Also from snake, if you push left punch once, nothing happens. You get out of the stance. Twice while holding forward. 1, 2. You stay in snake. Do that with me if you will. 1, 2. Left punch, right punch, holding forward. You're still in snake. 1, 2. Snake. Let's add a third punch into that. 1, 2, 1. Look at that. You're in Panther once again. For some reason I keep wanting to say leopard. That's why I hesitated. I'm like, why am I wanting to say it? It's Panther. Anyway, 1, 2, 1. Holding forward. Panther. 1, 2, 1. Let's add one more into that. 1, 2, 1, 2. Whoops. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that's right. Holding forward. You get the full combo. And you end up in snake again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Whoops, shit, that's wrong. 1, 2, 1, 2. You're in snake. And I knew I was looking for getaways to get into snake. Just like the first time anyway. Let's do it now. Down, back, and hold down. Down, back, 4, and hold down, I mean. You get a side step to the right and you're in snake. Sweep into snake. Down, back, 4. And down, back, up. Sweep into snake and you side step to the left. Down, back, and hold up immediately after. There you go. Another way to get in the snake that I forgot. Sorry about that. But that tends to happen because I don't take notes. I just do this for y'all. And once you're in snake or any stance, if you push up, you'll transition through the stances to the left. And if you push down, you'll transition through the stances to the right. That's good to remember. And to cancel any stance, once again, you just hold down forward. You get out of the stance safely. Or down back. Cancel the stance safely. You don't have to throw out a move to get out of a stance. So, diagonally down forward. Look at the input I put in. And I'm out of the stance. See that diagonally down arrow? That's all you do. And down back. See the arrow? Out of the stance. So, another thing is this move, which is all left punch. Once he finishes that, if you hold forward after it finishes, you'll stay in snake. Ready for more action. About 5 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you transition. Also, left kick. You get the launcher and you end up on the ground. In a ground position with your feet facing forward on your stomach and your head facing away. Which I'll get into the ground stances later. But that's another position you end up in from snake that can lead to more moves. And let's see, you have one more snake type stance, which is sitting snake. And you have a couple ways to get into that. This is new in Tekken Tag 2. Down, back, 1. Do that with me. Pretty simple. And you're in sitting snake. And if you don't do a move after that, you end up on the ground on your back with your feet facing towards the opponent and your head facing away, which leads to different moves than the previous ground position that I talked about. It's amazing how much you can do with Lei. It's wonderful. And from this position, you can also raise back up into see the snake. This is new. Just pushing by pushing both kicks at the same time. Buttons 3 and 4. You'll raise up. Whoops. But if you don't do anything, he'll just lay back down. So in that split second, you have to do a move, or else you just lay back down. Both kicks at the same time. Not too bad. So that's your snake. Your first animal stance. Got a few things you can do in there, mix it up. And you can get on your way to kicking some serious booty kung fu style. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now what we got next? Alright, next in the stance tree, we have Dragon. Now, back before Tekken Tag 2, there wasn't a real easy way to get into Dragon, like just off the bat. You had to transition into it. But now, you got this new move, back +2. Do that with me a few times. You got it. Not too hard. Now, after you do that, hold forward afterwards. Boom. And look at that, you in Dragon, just that simple. Back 2 forward. Alright, now what can you do from Dragon? You can actually do a lot of things. Want me to show you? Okay, I'm gonna show you a few of them. Besides moving around and looking like, you know, you're ready just to do some crazy kung fu. If you hit button 2 and hold forward, you go right into Tiger. So from Dragon, 2 hold forward. Nice little transition there. What else do you have? You got a little more. Button 3 hold forward. Crane. You know what I'm saying, man? Button 3 hold forward. You ready for some Karate Kid type style? Except Lei's on a whole nother level than the Karate Kid ever wishes he could be. He is not good enough. I know, Lei. I know. Just make sure they recognize. Button 3 hold forward into crane. Okay. Now, this move is it's a nice fake out. When you're in the stance, if you push button 1, you get this grab. So from Dragon, hit 1, you get this throw. Now let's say you want to fake him out. How do you do it? Well, you hit the same button, but you hold back. Look at that. I'm gonna grab you. Oh wait, no I'm not. Oh. You thought I was gonna grab you, but I went in a Tiger instead. Nope. Oh. See how it works? Things is getting serious. You know what I'm saying? Do you really have any more that you can do from Dragon? You do. But I'm just gonna cover the basic things. I like leaving some things for you to discover on your own. I don't want to just give you all the secrets, because that, to me, that takes the fun out of it. But if you know the main things, you can probably pretty much figure out everything else. So after Dragon, we have Panther on the list. Let's look at that next. Alright, man. So, we're going into Panther. No real easy way to just get straight into Panther. Well, actually there is, but I'm gonna save that for like the end. It's a newer move, but anyway, you're in Panther. How did I get there? I just started in Snake and pushed down. For some reason he doesn't want to cooperate. What the fuck? Okay, thank you, Lei. I hate when you act hard-headed when I'm trying to do something here. Anyway, Snake, push down, you go right into Panther. Now, from Panther, there's pretty much one transition you have, which is with button 3, left kick. There you go, that's your left kick. Button 3, You got that? Now once you do that move, if you hold back, boom. What's that stance called? What the fuck are you doing, Lei? Oh. Oh, you just wanna be hard-headed. Okay, that's called Phoenix. So from Panther, button 3, hold back, Phoenix, which I'll cover later. That'll be the last stance I cover in this video. So that's pretty much the only transition that you really have that's simple in Panther. Still haven't added too much to that yet, but Panther has some real important moves, which I'm sure you'll discover. So Panther is pretty simple. Not a lot to transition to from Panther. Not too bad. Next we'll cover Tiger, which is a beast of a stance. Tiger! How do you get into it? Good question. You eager to learn. I like that. Nice, quick way to get into Tiger, besides going through all the transitions, is this move. This move is down, forward, and both punches at the same time. Look at my icons at the bottom. See what I'm saying? Down, forward, and both punches. Even though the arrows are coming up crazy. Are my inputs kind of sloppy? I guess they are. So once you get that move, if you hold forward afterwards, you're in Tiger. Do that with me. I think you got that. I'm sure you got it. You're smart. Okay, now that you're in Tiger, what do you have? As far as transitions, you have button 3 and hold forward, which gives you that powerful, beautiful kick, and you go into seated snake. And you're in a position to do more damage from seated snake. Now if you don't do anything after hitting that button, you'll just go back into regular stance. You know? The key to doing these transitions is still holding the directional button, as you can see. And it probably always will be. Why would they change it? There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good system. So, that's about it as far as transitions that you have out of Tiger stance. The moves in Tiger stance are powerful, quick for the most part, and effective. Next, we'll do Crane, and we'll get you started on that Karate Kid style. You ready? Let's do it. Crane, the Karate Kid stance. The one people want to make fun of. Huh? Yeah, until they get kicked in the face by it. Anyway. Boom. How simple is that? Up +3. That'll take you straight into it. That's simple. And you can also go directional. You can go up, forward 3. To jump towards and kick. Kick them in the chin. Or you can go up, back 3. Get a little escape move. Alright. So you're in Crane. Interesting stance here. You got some things you can do. Button 2 takes you directly into your back turn stance. You throw out that quick elbow strike. And your back is turned and you have a whole set of moves you can do from back turn. That's just how amazing Lei is. You're always in a position to attack. And looks like that's about it. Button 2 in the back turn. I don't know why I thought I remember more from this stance. I think I was thinking about Crane. Phoenix. That's what it was. And we're gonna cover Phoenix next. But yeah. That's about all you have in Crane as far as transitions. Button 2 into your back turn stance. That's not too tricky, pretty simple. Next we'll get into Phoenix, the one I was thinking about when I said you could do quite a few things from Crane. My mistake. Here we go, let's go. Yeah! That big Phoenix stance is next. Let's go. Okay, how do you get into Phoenix? Pretty simple, you hold back and push button 1 and 4, which is left punch and right kick. You got it? And as you can see, it's another one of those stances where if you don't do an action pretty quick, you'll immediately just drop out of it. See, you have a second to make a decision. So what can we do from that stance? Well, I'm gonna show you. If you hit button 1, which is left punch, and hold down, afterwards, you fall down into a ground position with your head facing forward and your feet facing away on your stomach. So just hit button 1 and hold down, you get a transition. If you don't hold down, you just get this punch. Okay, next. Button 4. You get this low kick and go right into snake stance. So this is another way to get in the snake. From Phoenix. Button 4. You're in snake. Do that with me a couple times, my student. Once more. There you go, pretty simple. Next. A transition in the Drunken stance if you push both punch buttons at the same time, 1 and 2. So from Phoenix, both punch buttons at the same time, you go directly into Drunken stance. Pretty risky move, but it's a transition nonetheless, and that's what I'm here to show you. Once more. Of course, he wants to act stupid sometimes when you have to hit these simultaneous button presses, so it's always a risk. Okay, now from Phoenix. If you push back and button 4, you get his spinning overhead kicks. Get that straight first with me. Let's do it one more time. Back and 4. Multiple times. You can do up to 3, depending on how many times you push the kick button. Now, with that move, if you hold down, you'll go into another stance. On your back, head facing towards the opponent, feet facing away. And you can alternate that. So let's see, that's 1 kick. You can do 2 kicks and go down. Or you can do all 3 and go down. So it's up to you. Mix it up. So you can actually do a lot of things from Phoenix. A lot of transitions within this stance. You just gotta work it into your combat. That's the main things from it. You can do whatever you want, you know. The option is up to you. I'm not gonna show you everything I do, because what will be the point? I'm giving you the main things so you can start your own learning process and figure out your own lei techniques. Alright, so that covers the 5 main stances, the 5 animal stances.
I said for that conversation. I don't know.
So, this is what lei is known for. Getting drunk. Don't you want to get drunk? I know you do. So let's start with the easy way to get into it. Forward and both kicks at the same time. How easy is that? Doesn't get any easier than that, trust me. Forward and both kicks at the same time. You're in drunken stance. Next, if you sidestep, which is a tap of either the up button or the down button, and hit button 2 and hold forward, you get the drunken stagger and you end up in drunken stance. Sidestep, button 2, which is left punch, right punch, and hold forward. And you have, remember this low sweep? Down back 4. Remember that move? If you hold forward after you do it, you go into drunken stance once again. So diagonally down back 4 and hold forward. You're drunk. And you have 2-1 hold forward. 2-1 looks like this, which is right punch to left punch. Now input that and hold forward after you go into drunken stance. You got that? Of course you do. And there's one more way that's more of kind of like a taunt. If you hit buttons 2, 3, and 4 at the same time, which is right punch, left kick, and right kick. I knew it wouldn't come out right the first time. Ugh. See that? That's new. That's something that they added in Tag 2. Basically, it's just a different type of animation to go into drunken stance. Again. There we go. You get the idea. I'm not gonna sit here and wrestle with that input. You're slowing me down, Lei. Slowing me down. Anyway, you're in drunken stance. So what can you do from drunken stance? Well, pretty much anything you do. If you hold forward, you'll stay drunk. So button 1, hold forward, you get that punch there, and you're still drunk. Okay, so what about button 2? Well, hit it once and hold forward. You can tell by my inputs at the bottom of the screen that I'm actually not taking my finger off forward at all. You stagger back and you're still drunk. Hit that same button 2 times. You don't stagger back, you stay forward, but you're still drunk. This is left right punch twice, as you can see from my input at the bottom of the screen. And my notation that I'm gonna put in. Now button 3, low kick. I'm holding forward, so I'm staying drunk. And I'm kicking the hell out of her legs. That's enough of that. Button 4. High kick. Knock her head over heels. You're still drunk. And it's wonderful. So that's your basic moves out of Drunken stance. Pretty easy to stay drunk once you get into it. Now this combo here consists of left kick, right punch, hold forward, which is 3, 2, hold forward. You're still drunk. You can also mix that up with a kick at the end of it and transition into crane, but you're holding forward still. So from Drunken stance, 3, 2, 4, hold forward, you go into crane. Let's try that one again. I know that one gets a little more complicated for beginners, but just watch my inputs at the bottom of the screen. You got it? Look at my inputs at the bottom. Blue, green, red, forward. Three, 2, 4, hold forward. Nice little combo, and you go into crane stance. Back, 1. Hold forward. Takes you into Drunken stance. Back, 1, hold forward. You get the Drunken punch and the Drunken walk afterwards. Back, 1, hold forward. You also have another transition if you push back, 1 and hold down afterwards. You go into the falling position again that I mentioned earlier, which is with your feet facing towards your opponent, your feet facing away from your opponent, your head facing towards your opponent, and your stomach on the ground. So that's back, 1, hold down. And you also have back, 1, hold forward, which takes you into Drunken. And there you have it. A little more in depth there, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. Now things are gonna get pretty interesting. Alright, so when it comes to stances, you usually don't think having your back turned is a stance. But when you're playing Lei, pretty much everything is a stance. So we're gonna consider it a stance. Okay, to turn your back, it's pretty simple. You push back and both kicks at the same time. One more time. Pretty simple. So when your back is turned, you have a couple things you can do. You can push down and 4, and you go right into snake. There you go. Down and 4. Transition into snake. You have to hold the down button, or else he'll just throw out a sweep. Notice the difference when you hold down? Snake. Or you can also go into Drunken if you hold forward. So down 4, hold forward. You get that drunken transition that I'm pretty sure I mentioned earlier. But one thing changed into another. Man, it must be time for a new controller, cause I'm clearly hitting the back button. He's doing what he wants to do. Now, this transition is actually part of a combo. If you push both punch buttons, you'll do his back fist. Let's get that straight first. Hit that with me a couple times. This is both punch buttons simultaneously. Now after that, if you push... Wow, what was that turn? If you push button 2, you'll transition into on the ground, on your stomach, head forward, feet away. That's a lot to remember, huh? On your stomach, head away, feet away. But all that matters, because you can do different moves depending on how you're laying down on the ground. But we'll talk about different ground stances in the next section. Anyway. 1. Okay, Lei, I'm pushing the button. You can see in my input commands I'm actually hitting it, but it's not working. 1, 2. There you go. Stop making me look stupid. I just wanted to see if you were good enough. You know I'm good enough, Lei. Don't start, man. 1, 2. You got that? Alright. Now, remember the back turn motion? Back in both kicks. This is actually how you do your ha-ha step. Ha-ha step. That's what they call it. I don't like calling it that. But I'm going to call it that because that's what most people know it as. Watch the input commands on the bottom of the screen if that'll help you at all. But normally, to turn your back, you would just push one button press simultaneously. That would be back and both kicks. Even though it looks like I'm hitting it 4 times, I'm actually not. I don't know why it's doing that on the input screen. So, if you do that, and actually do a quick double tap of back, you cancel the back turn animation, and you just hop back. That's the ha-ha step that so many people love with Lei. You're doing a double back input instead of a single back input, and you're doing it pretty fast. You gotta do it quickly, rapidly. See if you can get that with me. Let's do it. Let's ha-ha step. You ready? Let's go. Whoops. Did you get it? I had a little trouble myself. I have a hard time trying to demonstrate things and doing it in an actual match. Let's try it again. How was it? How did you do? I got it out clean that time. And you can do it pretty fast if you want to, but that's... See, you run the risk of throwing out a random move when you try to do it too fast. But that's the ha-ha step. Instead of doing the single input to turn your back, double tap on the back button twice, very fast. You still only have to hit the kick buttons 1 time. And you can try to work it out. Start off slow with it, see? Watch. Just to get it straight, let's try it slow first. If you haven't gotten it yet. Start off with that first. Now you got that? Now just go back, back. See? You get a little more to the animation if you do it slowly, but you can see what's happening. Back, back. See him spin around? Back, back. Back, back. Back, back. Now, if you got that part, try to hit the back button just a little faster to cancel out the animation completely, where he doesn't turn around at all. See the difference? And that's all there is to it. That's the ha-ha step. That'll help you get out of danger, evade moves. A lot of people consider it an important move with Lei, but hey, it's up to you if you want to use it or not. Okay, next I'm going to talk about how to get into the different ground stances. Let's do it. Let's move on, student. You're doing good. Sticking with it. Okay. Ground stances. You got 4 different ground stances, and I'm going to show you how to get into each one and what they look like. The most basic one that Lei has always had is down and both kicks at the same time. So down and 3 and 4. Let's go. That's down on your back, head away, feet forward. One more time. I'm sure you got that one. That's the easiest one, huh? Next. Lei, cooperate. Down and both punch buttons at the same time. Down on your stomach, head away, feet forward. Much like the first ground stance, your feet are facing the opponent. So this is down and both punches at the same time. One more time. Okay. Now is where things get a little more tricky. Down and 1 plus 4, which is left punch and right kick. You go down on your stomach with your head facing towards the opponent and your feet facing away. Down 1 plus 4. Pay attention to what it looks like. Down 1 plus 4. Look at my input if you don't know what 1 plus 4 means. If you're still having trouble understanding that Tekken terminology, just look at the picture. One more time. Okay. And finally we have down and 2 plus 3. On your back, head towards the opponent, feet away. Look at the input at the bottom of the screen to see the buttons that I'm hitting. That is down and 2 plus 3. Let's do it a few more times. Pay attention to the animation. One more time. You got it? So those are your 4 ground stances. And I'm going to leave it up to you to discover the moves in each of those stances. Now that you know how to get into them, it's really not hard figuring out the moves. Just push different buttons and you can do the moves. So, when you're in this ground position, there are a couple things you can do besides attacks. You can hit button 2 to just go into the default ground position where you can roll around and recover and get up normally like any other character in the game. So hit button 2 to cancel this special ground pose stance, and now you're in a default normal character ground stance, and you can roll to the left, roll to the right, whichever way you want to get up. And the same thing applies if you want to get back into the ground stance. Hit button 2 again. This is all button 2. Cancel, resume. Cancel, resume. Normal, kung fu. That's button 2. So, you can also do side rolls in this stance, but they're a little different. If you hit button 1 to roll to the left, he'll just roll over to a different ground stance on your stomach with your feet facing head away. This also applies if you're laying the other way with your feet away from the opponent. You'll still roll in those other ground stances. So with this, you'll roll to the left. This is just button 1. You'll roll circles around them. Button 1. Now to roll to the right, you still hit button 1, but you hold down while you're doing it. And you roll in the opposite direction. Small roll because you're still in your ground stance position and you can attack. So hold down, button 1, you'll go to the right. Button 1 alone, you'll go to the left. And there's also another way you can get out of this position and go right into Drunken stance, which is both punch buttons at the same time. And you can go back down with down and both kicks at the same time. So to raise up, let's do that. Both punch buttons at the same time. Let's go. You got it? Lay back down. Down, both kick buttons at the same time. Let's go. Not too bad. And there's also one more stance you can get into seated snake. I think I showed you in the snake video, which is from this position, both kicks at the same time. Both kicks at the same time. You raise up and go into seated snake. Alright, so that's the basic framework of the ground stances. I'll leave the rest to you, because where's the fun if I show you everything? You know, I think that takes the fun of discovery out of the process. Okay, next I'm going to show you the new way that Lei has to get into stances. Exclusive to Tekken Tag 2. Let's look at that. Okay, this is the new fancy way for Tekken Tag 2 you had to get into your stances. Let's start off with the simplest one. This requires you to hit both kick buttons at the same time, simultaneously. Notice you'll get this crazy kung fu animation, Jackie Chan style, and go right into your snake stance. Try it a couple times with me here. Okay, so now you're wondering, okay, I got snake, but how do I get into the other stances from this? Well, it might be a little tricky, but it's difficult to explain, but I'm gonna try. Well, it's not difficult, you can handle it, you playing Lei. You do the same input, both kick buttons at the same time, but as soon as he starts the animation, you're gonna hold one of the 4 attack buttons. Each of the 4 buttons goes into a different stance. So we're gonna go in order. Button 1, button 2, button 3, and button 4, and see what we get. Let's start with button 1. That goes in the dragon. The key is, as soon as you see the animation begin, start holding that button. In this case, it's button 1. So let's do dragon a couple more times. Okay, next we're going to do the same thing, exact same input, but we're going to hit and hold button 2 instead at the start of the animation. And see what we get. Panther. One more time. You catching on to how it works? Next, let's try button 3. Tiger. See the input at the bottom of the screen? Let's try it a couple more times. Look at how he looks to make sure you're doing it right. Look at the stance. Are you ending up in tiger stance? Couple more times here. Animation starts. Hold 3. And you can probably figure out what button 4 gets you. Let's try it. Both kicks at the same time and hold button 4. You ready? Let's go. Crane. It's easy to tell if you're doing this one right because he'll start lifting his leg up in the middle of that animation. Notice it? Notice how he's starting to lift his leg up while he's waving his hands? One more time. Okay, so that's new and fancy. Nice addition to Lei in Tag 2. And I forgot one more. His taunt, which leads into a transition in the Drunken stance. This one requires you to push buttons 1, 3, and 4 at the same time, which is left punch, left kick, and right kick. See that? You'll get that show off animation and go right into Drunken. Let's try it one more time. So use that a little bit if you want to show off, if you're dominating the match. If you feel like you're the ultimate badass, you can throw that in. So, there you have it. You stuck with me through all this. You're on your way. Those were the main transitions. The new additions to Lei's game. I showed you pretty much how to get into the main framework of the gameplay. From there, I'm going to leave it to you to discover your techniques. I might do some combo videos in the future, but this is to get you initiated in how Lei transitions in Tag 2. Sasha Rice Fight Club out. I want to say thank you to Namco for making this wonderful game. Best Tekken I played in a good long while. And I might see you online. Be ready for a good fight. Thanks for watching.